Hello, this is Jocko, our dog. He's about 13 years old, older than sin. He's quite a dog. In his time, he tested everybody's religion a little bit. But like all dogs, you know, he's worthless to anybody but us, but he's family. Now, I've always had good relationships with dogs on the farm. I had 4, and one of them even saved my life from a snake bite one time. Only once in my life have I ever abused a dog. I guess officially it'd be animal abuse. Only once. And so I'll tell you that story. My kids had a cat drift in, and old mama cat, and she just basically adopted the kids, or they took her. And poor old cat had to put up with my 2 little girls. Must have been 25 years ago. And little girls, and boy, they always had her in almost every kind of doll clothing you could think of, and in the baby carriage they'd push her around. They just had a ball with that cat. Well, she got pregnant and had a couple of kittens. And so one day, I was sitting in here, probably reading the paper or something, and all hell broke loose in the backyard. So I got up and went out to see what the problem was, and figured a tomcat might be causing trouble. Got out there, and here was a big mixed breed mean dog that was tearing up the mama cat. And I always keep a slingshot. It was a wrist rocket in the back door, and unlike those little 1/4-inch steel shot you can buy commercially, I had 50 caliber lead balls, 1/2-inch lead balls that you could shoot out a black powder rifle, round balls. And I grabbed it and slingshot, and I pulled back full draw and let him have it in the side. And that old dog, yipe, yipe, yipe. 2 blocks you could hear him yiping as he ran through the trailer cord and out the other side. Well, I said, well, I better get things straightened out here before the kids get home from school. So I walked up front, and I'm a survivalist, keep everything in the car, so I grabbed my shovel out of the car because I was going to have to do some burying. And about that time, cop come pulling up. He said, I got a report of animal abuse. You know anything about that? And I said, well, that would be me. And he said, I said, I shot a dog with a slingshot. And he said, well, I'm going to have to write you up for animal abuse. And I said, that's fine. Come on, that's fine. Come on back, though. I got some stuff I got to do before the kids come home. And you can do anything you want to me. So he followed me around as I took the shovel. And as he got around there, he looked down. The old cop's eyes got big, because he was looking at 2 baby kittens, and they had their heads literally completely bitten off. And he looked over at the mama cat, and she had her guts ripped out from her one side of her, just laying there gasping her last. She was about to die. And I said, I need to get these buried before the kids come home. They'll be home about 30 minutes. And I said, after I get them buried, you can do whatever you want to me. And the cop, he had his book open, going to be writing all the stuff he was going to have to do, you know, and he just closed the book and he said, I ain't charging you with nothing. He said, if it had been me, I'd have shot the dog. And I said, well, I don't keep a gun in town. I got them out farm or ranch where I work part-time. They keep our guns out there. And so he said, okay. He said, I'll go talk to the neighbor that turned you in. There's always a neighbor that'll turn you in for anything. And, of course, I don't blame that neighbor, though, because if you was abusing an animal, you should be turned in. So it didn't upset me. So he went and talked to the lady that had called it in, and she said she wouldn't press charges or do anything else with it. So he came back and said, it's over, but he said, if I find out the dog that did that, he said, I'll charge the neighbor or the dog owner with, a loose dog and, endangering the public or whatever. And he said, you can sue them, too. And I said, well, I ain't never sued nobody in my life, and I don't think I'm going to start now. And I said, besides, that cat was a stray cat, but I said, it was family to us. And I said, no money would replace it. And anyway, be that as it may, that was the only time I ever abused a dog. And I hope it's the last. But I've always enjoyed dogs, and I hope you have the blessing of owning a dog now or in the future. And you'll find they're about the best friend you can have, as far as I'm concerned. They are loyal, and that's worth a lot in this world. Rate this film.